Today is the culmination of all the work for the past almost 2 years of showcasing the work of the students on the PSAs they've created this year, as well as highlighting the work, the 2 PSAs created last year, and also what each school district is doing, Shore-and-Wading River and Rocky Point, in terms of the CMCA work.
That grant involves the implementation of 2 evidence-based programs, one being Project Success, which places a student assistance counselor in each high school, and the Communities Mobilizing for Change on Alcohol, which is actually more commonly known as CMCA. And we named our project ACES, the Alcohol Coalition of Eastern Suffolk.
Well, it had 2 roles. The whole ACES grant is using 2 evidence-based programs. One is the CMCA, which is responsible for the website that Rocky Point High School has created. The other is creating the PSAs with the students.
Each faction of it, the CMCA and Project Success, overlap. And having somebody in the school and then having a community piece, which the CMCA is, really works, they work off each other nicely, and it amplifies and by exponentially probably increases its effectiveness.
Well, I recruited the students from the SAD Club, and that was an easy task to do because we had several that were very interested and very enthusiastic.
We worked with the students here, about 5 kids from my school and another group of kids from Rocky Point came together, and we all made a total of 3 PSAs.
Well, I was part of the SAD Club at our school, which stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions, and from that we were asked if anyone was interested in working to make this PSA. That was about how it's bad to drink when you're young. So I wanted to do it, and me and a few of my other classmates, so we decided to get involved.
I met with them a few times to discuss the approach we were taking this year, which is the positive norms approach. And I went with them each time when they came to the BOCES Brookhaven Tech site to actually create the PSA.
These bunch of kids start a party downstairs. They run down the stairs, and I look down like, what's going on? Like looking down like, what's that? And then the kid comes out with a beer cup in his hand and asks, basically asking like, you want a drink? And I go down the stairs, and me going down the stairs is kind of like me going down to like the dark side in a way, if you want. And I have a friend, my friend, when I go down and try to take the beer and about to drink, she comes down and throws it to the ground. So it's basically like, stick with your friend, choose your friends wisely, stick with your best friends. You don't need to drink to have fun.
The basic idea of the public service announcement video, again, about positive norms, displaying the myths, because some students will say, oh, everybody that I know is drinking or drugging, or maybe students believe that in the school. A common myth is that all their other peers or a bunch of their other peers are drinking or using drugs, when that is not necessarily the case. So we wanted to promote the more positive approach.
Well, ours takes place at a rock concert, and there's a large group of kids having fun in the crowd, fist pumping, having a good time without doing drugs or alcohol. And then there's 2 kids in the corner who are doing drugs or alcohol, and they're not having as much fun. And it's just to show the proportion that more people are having fun and are not doing alcohol, opposed to the people who are.
So we have emphasized this year on taking that approach by showing that, actually trying to bust some of the myths that people have, so that young people recognize that they aren't alone if they think that it's not so great to drink.
The truth is, most people have fun without drugs or alcohol, and contrary to what they believe is happening, the truth is most people aren't doing it.
We wanted to kind of create a dark and mysterious feeling, because that's what we think we get from alcohol, and that's how we kind of were taught. And so it kind of added to the film. And when people disappeared from that feeling, that was the percentage of people who, I believe, don't drink. So it made a bigger impact.
With survey results that we've gained from last year, it shows 80% of students are not drinking. And it shows that 85% of students perceive that they are not cool if they would drink on a regular basis.
I believe the effect of directness of this kind of message, of portraying it as saying this is how many people you think drink when it's really a lot less, shows a greater impact of saying this is how many people don't drink, you shouldn't drink, and such.
Last year's national conference that we attended that was all about these grants and underage drinking issues, etc. There was a presenter who spoke about the positive norms approach and helping us understand that it works far better than scare tactics. And that when you give real statistics about the fact that most young people are not drinking and embarking on that kind of behavior, and if you can give local statistics, even better, which is what we've been doing with our grant. We survey every year the students in the school, and we do ask questions about whether, if they've been drinking, how much they drink, etc., all those kinds of things.
It was good because it shows that you don't need to drink with friends to have a good time. You could go see a movie. You could just hanging out with your friends just in general is better than just going out and drinking, getting drunk, and like possibly getting into an accident or getting hurt somehow.
I just thought it was a really good experience to be involved with something I had never been involved with before, to go and see how they have all the sets set up, how you go about filming this sort of thing. And it was cool to see the scripts, how those are written, and with the picture and the voice on the other side. And it was just a really interesting process, and it's good that we got to work on something good.
Well, the students that we worked with here at BOCES are really good. They did a lot of the editing and a lot of the sounds and audio and lighting, and they're really good to work with.
I thought that it's a win-win. I think the students got to learn a lot and be a part of this process, which has created a fabulous result. And the message they've created is appropriate for their peers because they've created it.
By involving the community and knowing exactly what's going on in each school, you're getting lots of real data, real information that's current, and we feel that we are addressing needs that we're hearing about.
We worked really hard on it, and I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's going to come out really well, and it shows a good message, and I think it's really effective.
The students have put together something that will be quite effective, that will be shown on Cablevision. It will be linked to the Rocky Point's homepage website and also on the PRC website. So it'll get out there, and they've been part of something very special and very unique.
They had a great time, they formed new friendships, and they have a new perception now about the myths that were dispelled in this process. And from there on, now they're telling their friends about this, and I have kids already coming up to me in the high school that want to be in this for next year. So word is getting around, and these students are wonderful.
So we're trying to get the word out about the dangers of underage drinking, that people become aware of the fact that young people in particular are very vulnerable to the effects of alcohol or any other drugs. They still have a developing brain. The brain doesn't get fully developed till about age 26. They can develop a problem rapidly by comparison to adults, and a lot of people are totally unaware.